Hello, fourth graders. Happy Wednesday. Today we're going to talk about comparing fractions with different denominators. So you want to have your math student book out in front of you, and we're going to start on page 263. So when you're ready, here we go. Page 263, it looks like this. It's got that horrible bubble tape that's so unhealthy. Okay, number one. Brianna and her brother, Corey, love the kind of bubble gum that looks like a long roll of tape. This whole roll is way too much gum to chew at once. So their grandma cut two pieces that were exactly the same length and gave one to Brianna and one to Corey. Brianna cut her gum into 3 equal pieces and chewed 2 of them. Corey cut his gum tape into 5 equal pieces and chewed 3 of them. Who chewed more gum? Okay, so we have to figure out what fraction of the gum strip Brianna chewed and what fraction Corey chewed, and then we have to compare them. So it says back up in here that Brianna cut her gum tape into 3 equal pieces and chewed 2 of them. So 3 is how many there were in all, so that's our denominator. And she chewed 2 of them. So that's our numerator. She chewed 2/3. So that's Brianna. Now Corey cut his tape into 5 equal pieces. So that's our denominator. And he chewed 3 of them. That's our numerator. So we need to decide which is more. So looking at 2/3 and 3/5, if this was 2/3 compared to 3/3, we would know that 3/3 is more. But because it's a different denominator, we have to do something different. And one way I'm going to teach you today to do that is to think of a common multiple that 3 and 5 have. So multiples. So for 5s, multiples are 5, 10, 15. For 3s, they're 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So they both have 15 as a common multiple. So we're going to make 2/3 into something 15ths, and we're going to make 3/5 into something 15ths. Okay, now remember when we do equivalent fractions, we multiply by a whole to get another fraction that's the same as 2/3, the amount of 2/3. So 2/3, to get to something 15ths, we're going to need to multiply 3 times 5, right? Okay, so this is going to be times 5, got us 15. Now remember, if it's a whole, it's going to be 5/5, like that. Can you see that? You can see that. So 2 times 5 is going to give you the numerator. So what's 2 times 5? 10. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing over here where we have 3/5. So we know we need to multiply. We got 5 times what is 15? 5 times 3. So we're going to do times 3 here, gets you to 15. Now we have to do 3 times 3 because 3/3 is that whole. 3 times 3 is 9. So now we can compare 10/15 to 9/15, which is more. So in your paper here, you're going to write Brianna chewed 2/3 of a strip. Corey chewed 3/5 of a strip. Who chewed more than who? So Brianna chewed more than Corey. We know because we can say 10/15, you could put that there, is greater than, the greater than sign, 9/15. Okay, we're using a comparison sentence here. All right, let's try number 2. Their cousins, Malik and Caitlin, came over. So to be fair, their grandma gave each of them a piece of gum tape that was exactly the same length. Malik chewed 3/4 of his, and Caitlin chewed 7/10 of hers. Who chewed more, Malik or Caitlin? So here we're comparing 3/4 and 7/10. Okay, so if you have 3/4 and you have 7/10, which is more? So using this way of finding a common denominator, go ahead and pause it and do that work. Okay, so I need to think of a common denominator for 4 and 10. And I think that if I were to say, start with my 10s, 10, 20, okay, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. 20 is a common multiple. So we're going to make this something 20ths and this something 20ths. So 4 times what is 20? 4 times 5 is 20. So then up here we're going to do 3 times 5 is 15. So 3/4 is equivalent to 15/20. Now 7/10, 10 times 2 is 20. So 7 times 2 is 14. So we know that 15/20 compared to 14/20, this one's going to be greater. Is that what you got? Okay, we're going to keep going all together. Number 3, on page 264. Later that day, Brianna and Corey left their grandma's house and went home. Their dad gave them some fruit leather in long strips as a snack. Brianna and Corey each got their own strip, and the strips were exactly the same length. Brianna cut her strip into 5 equal pieces and ate 3 of them. Corey cut his strip into 8 equal pieces and ate 5 of them. Who ate a greater amount of fruit leather, Brianna or Corey? So how much did Brianna and how much did Corey have? Who had a greater amount? So Brianna cut her strip into 5 equal pieces, so that's our denominator. Can't see that. There you go. And our numerator is how many she had, which is 3. Okay, and then Corey cut his strip into 8 equal pieces, so that's our denominator, and ate 5 of them. Ate them. Oh, it's fruit leather, it's not gum. You can eat fruit leather. Don't really want to eat gum. Okay, so we're comparing 3/5 to 5/8. So pause it, find your common denominator. Compare which is more. Okay, pause it if you did it. Okay, so 8 and 5, finding the common denominator. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I get to 40 before I have a number that 8 also has a multiple of. So I'm going to have to use 40. Did you use 40? Whoa, okay. 40 and 40. I'm using the same strategy again. 5 times what is 40? 5 times 8. So up here we're going to go 3 times 8. 24. And I did that by saying 2 times 8 is 16, and then add another 8, and I got 24. 8 times what is 40? 8 times 5. So now we're going to do 5 times 5, and it's 25. Ooh, these are pretty close. 24 40ths and 25 40ths. So here we have 25 40ths being greater. Okay, so finding fractions that are equivalent with a common denominator is what we did today. And remember, whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top so that it's a whole. And today we have a field trip to Colombia. So that's it for the math today. Well, you can always do more. You can always go to MobyMax and do more, or make up your own math problems. Whatever you do, let me know. Send it to me. I hope you're doing well. And Bochi, do you want to say hello? No?